Geben Sie bitte einen ganz herzlichen und kräftigen Applaus für Xin Cheng, Julia Cenci und Martin Schwander. Welcome. Martin Schwander, this is your 21st year. You are, from the very beginning, the president of the jury. What do you think is special in this year about the young artists?
Thank you, Nina, for your introduction. I think one thing which is obviously very special this year is that we have 18 presentations, 18 artists on statement, and 15 of them are female artists.
Okay. So just 3 males.
3 males. That's never happened before, and so there is no surprise as we have 2 female artists winners this year.
So that was a big chance to win for you. No, because you won because of your art, of course. So congratulations once more. I know one Chinese word, "konsi," which means congratulations. Auguri of gefeliciteerd. Yeah. They both have a connection to Amsterdam. You still live in Amsterdam. You used to live in Amsterdam. You live now in Paris. Yep. Why Amsterdam and Paris? Is this the place to be for young artists?
Please, I love Paris. I think I used to live in Amsterdam because I did the Rijksacademy residency, and I think I grew a lot. But I think Paris is different. It's really charming, and a lot of modern paintings to see. So for me, it's really nourishing.
Yeah, for you as a painter. Of
yes.
Course, yeah. And why did you choose Amsterdam? Or?
I also moved for a similar reason, so to attend the Atelier residency, which is another one. And finally I just found a way to stay there. I have a beautiful studio, which is a bunker close to the airport, and it's the right place at the moment to work and to produce my works.
In a bunker.
Yeah, but it's a very big one, so it's great. Yeah.
Okay. Martin Schwander, every year the young artists come from all over the world. It's always widely spread. What nations are here this year?
You mean, and as Peter mentioned before, that there are guests from 103 countries this year, and made more or less the same evolution also in the art world. We have maybe 20 years ago, we had mostly American and European artists in statement, and today we have, I didn't make a scale, but I think there are about 12 or so countries from all over the world, from Asia, from Europe, from South America, North America, and for example also Estonian gallery. First time that the Estonian gallery is here.
Interesting.
And very proud to present Estonian artists on statement. See.
Wow. So let's start from the beginning. I assume that as an artist, you don't even have a choice. You just have to become an artist. Am I right, Julia? And just have to come out? Or was there an alternative for you?
No.
Never?
No, never. I always wanted to work, and it's been really easy to follow the path somehow. Of course, the work and the way of approaching a daily process is changing, but I think there is an urgency behind it, which is quite, the line that brings you somewhere.
It's interesting to hear that you say it's easy as an artist. I thought it's hard work in the beginning, especially.
It's easy to choose.
It is
easy to choose in the sense that, as you said, I didn't have much choice. I mean, I really want to work. Nothing really changed actually. Maybe I just want to work more now because I have more, because I have more space, more time, and more ability to do certain things. But I've always wanted to do so. Yeah.
And now even more money.
Yeah.
Signy, you both did a classical education. When or maybe where did you start to develop your own style? What do you think?
I think maybe in 2012. I think I made a painting that really excited myself, and I think that was the beginning of that. I found my subject matter, and I found a language, and it has been a journey to evolve from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about your language, about this language. Do you think it's different to study in China or in Europe? Have you maybe talked to colleagues if there is a difference in education, maybe?
Yeah, very much.
Very much?
I went to university in China. I studied sculpture at that time.
Sculpture.
I studied painting, so
Whoa.
that's very funny.
And you studied painting, yeah. That's
So it was, for my training was very classic, that I had live models coming every morning and pose. It's like either young or old or with clothes, without clothes, and then just sculpture or sketching, and it's for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I studied in the U.S. I went to a school in Baltimore called MICA, and I think at that time I realized that that what matters is like find a voice of my own and my own interests. But now I think I'm also glad that I have the technical, the techniques that I had from before, which make me confident technically.
Yeah, we'll talk about your technique. How important are your galleries to help you in your development, in your education, in your career?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, for me it was very important. My gallery is following me since the very beginning, already many years, and we kind of grew together because I was still a student when we started, and my work was, of course, very different as well. But we made a kind of story together, and we got here, so it's very nice. And it's the first time for both of us, so we're very happy.
Yeah. So Martin Schwander, this art prize is also a big recognition for the galleries too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it helps both the artists and the gallery. So the promotion of the work of the continuing work of the galleries. And especially, I think it's courageous to support young artists, which are not established, which do not have high prices. And I think for this statement is the ideal place, because it's really the place to present young artists. And,
so we have to say thank you to Spazio
Absolutely.
Pistoia and Baloise Hurting in Paris. Yeah. Yeah, so let's talk about you and your art. Yes, you've been talking already about your voice and your technique. What would you say is your technique? What is special about your technique?
My technique. I think I really love the painting medium. That I think it's really sophisticated. Like now, I love going to the museum. I love seeing classic paintings. That how they render something, how
they transport atmospheres.
Yeah, at that time, that people really believe in something, and how you paint that and paint the scenes alive to them. So, whereas myself, I think I want to use the medium that, like when oil painting is wet and the paint white on white, is a certain effect that the boundary merge together, and when it's paint half white on top of half white, and they mix a little bit, and there are so many accidents that happens, and I'm exploring and learning about that.
Yeah, but you are not working just with white. You experiment a lot with colors. You use very different colors than we are used to in Europe. Am I right?
I think I want the colors to be really specific. For me, I think color really transport human emotions. So I think when I paint something about anxiety, or I think there is a very specific kind of orange, or like the composition, or a different shades of orange. So I'm looking for.
So what emotion is orange? Anxiety,
or at some situation it needs to be orange. Then that's, for me, it's like how I want to approach the reality of anxiety, and I'm really fascinated by the light in paintings. I think light gives painting life, and I want to search for that. Yeah, so that's my technique.
Okay. Julia, you were completely differently. I would say your art is a bit louder, is bigger. You fill the whole room, the room here. It's perfectly in a perfect order. What's your technique? How do you work?
Yeah, I don't know if I really have a technique. I work a lot
because I think you have one, because we see a lot of different species, I would say, or creatures, but we understand they are from the same family, so you have to have a technique. I work a lot in between sculpture and installation, but I really try to always keep some pieces or fragments of reality, so of a ready-made inside the work, which is super important for me. I always think about the whole room and almost never about a single piece. I mean, it is something really important, but it's almost like a detail or a character. And I can also take it out of it, but when I fully think about a work or a show, I really have to think about the whole atmosphere and the whole space. That's mostly because I really want your body to be completely involved in the space and in the work. The body of the spectator.
Yes, and to feel inside it. So if a show, it's aggressive, and I want you to feel attacked. But I also made very unloud installation, very low installation.
Kind and soft ones.
And in this case, I want you to feel above or taller than certain things. And I always use a rule to create the space around you, let's say, around the spectator. That's for sure the main thing.
And that's your secret? The room.
Kind of. It's my necessity, let's say.
Yeah, okay. You use scrap metal. Are you concerned about pollution, or is it just practical and for material for free, good to use?
I live now, so I'm, of course, worry about it, and I, of course, feel it, and I see it a lot. I grew up in the countryside, and when you grow up there, it's even much easier to see when there is something external and very dirty into it. So I think this image will never leave my mind and my way of looking at things. I'm not sure. I'm not making something which is extremely ecological, but I'm probably talking about something which concerns our action, our way of creating and destroying at the same time things, and how these two things are like one only action somehow. And I think that's maybe what's more important.
And not only action, but also reaction. The reaction from the spectator to your action.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Okay. Let's talk about your voice or your ideas, your topics. You said you found your own voice. What is it about, your own voice?
My own voice? Maybe it's easier to talk about the presentation at Art Basel this time.
Yes.
For me, I'm very, very fascinated by people. And for this one, it's about people's desires.
Okay.
And their desires of being satisfied to different levels, and then what happens after being satisfied. So this is my subject this time.
And what people do you choose to paint?
I paint people that I know. For me, they are very interesting people that not only their faces, I also think their personality shape how they look. So, and I get to know them. Some become my friends. I know how they talk, how they move, how they interact, and I want to pick that up for my paintings. And but for the situations, sometimes are imagined, fantasized, or from memories. I choose the characters to set in different situations.
What is funny is that you turned kind of the history, because we were used to men painting naked women, and now you as a woman, you love to paint especially men, naked men also. Is it a coincidence, or
nothing's coincidence? but Yes, I did paint a lot of males because there are people that I felt that I was very fascinated by, and they are very beautiful. That is like an impulse that I really want to paint them, and I paint them naked. Is I think people have when they are naked, they are really vulnerable, or they are close to something that I want to capture, and also I think when people are naked, more skin are shown, and I love to paint the flesh. But the new works, you can see from the image, there's a woman.
It's a woman. Yeah.
And I do want to be the work to be universal or speaks about something universal.
So you don't care about gender, actually.
Well, I care about gender. I think I want to include that in my work, but I don't think I want to make work about gender. I think that's, yeah. Oh.
But what's evident, you create a very intimate atmosphere thanks to your relationship to the people and thanks to how you see the people and how you can capture these moments. Martin Schwander, what did the jury say? Why are these two the right winners?
The perfect choice for 2019. I think Cheng's paintings, she mentioned it already, convinced us because they are beautiful paintings. I mean, wonderful technique and a very delicate painting, which is rare today, and also the sensibility, the way she presents his friends, his people she knows, is between hiding their secrets and showing themselves. I think that's a very, very interesting aspect in her work. They are naked, but at the same time, they keep a secret for themselves. And that makes these paintings, I think, so attractive. And with Julia's work, I think it's interesting we mentioned the gender issue, women participation. I mean, sculpture is really the male discipline in art history. If you look back to Michelangelo, to Rodin, to Richard Serra, these were really, or even are even macho artists, most of them. And it's also now a kind of deconstruction of these traditions with these fragmented sculptures, the construction of this tradition. I think that was for us a really interesting aspect, and also the way she deals with the space. I mean, it's really an installation made for this booth, and also working with this theatrical aspect of the art fair. You walk through this hallway, and then you look to one booth to the next one. Often people do not enter the booth because they have not enough time or they're not interested.
But usually it's not allowed to enter.
And it's like a stage, like a baroque stage, your installation, and that's also something which we find very particular in this, also compared to other works in Statement this year. So also really the way she deals and was invested herself in forming this space. Yeah.
So the consequence now is that your art is going away, is already sold, because Baloise donates it. Julia, your work goes to Podium in Luxembourg, and Sinyi, your work goes to the Museum für Gegenwart in Berlin, in Berlin. And so, Julia, to be honest, your work is kind of unpractical to collect it. What do you think? How shall a collector install it at home or a museum? Do we have to fix it in the walls, or how does it work?
Depends. Now, there are some parts which are much more easy, let's say, also even simple, I would say. Some other which are more complicated, but I mean, it's doable because I made it.
So it's no obstacle for selling?
No, it's not crazy. The best is really. If I do it, it's not totally crazy.
Yeah.
The best, I mean, for me, the best is to make it on site, but that's just like it's only the very best option.
Yeah.
But they are really transportable, and we brought it here, so it's fine.
Okay, so in almost a year you have a new chance to present your work in these two museums, and today you receive 30,000 Swiss francs. This is the prize. Sinyi, do you already know how to invest this money?
Wow. I want to buy a lot of new paints, and I want to do printmaking, and I'm really grateful for having this chance. I'm really happy, and I want to invest in my work.
That's very nice to hear. Your material is almost for free. Where do you invest in?
Not really.
I'm just joking. Do you know already how to invest it?
Yeah. I want to buy a lot of shower boxes to make a new work.
Wow. So you both invested in your work, and we are happy to see you then in the next years.
Yeah.
But of course, now we need this money for you, right? So let's proceed to the official ceremony. We'd like to give you the prize, and for that, I'd like to ask all the special people back to the scene. Let's get up and let's welcome back Michael Müller, and a warm welcome, please, to Andreas Burkhardt. And he has the envelope.